98.5 K-Fox, South Bay's Classic Rock. Morris Knight here. So stoked because I'm hanging out with this really cool guy who is, his likeness to Ozzy Osbourne is second to none. So much so that he is the man that becomes Ozzy Osbourne. But today I'm talking to Ozzy Rebourne. Boyd Quinton in real life. Ozzy Rebourne to you and I. I got to tell you, man, it's an honor to be talking to you.
Honor for us.
So, first of all, great to meet you, Boyd. It's wonderful to have someone of your caliber hanging out with me today.
Oh, it's nice to be speaking to someone of your caliber, Morris.
Right on. Okay. The Ozzy Rebourne experience. That is so awesome, man. And I got to say, I didn't know what to expect. You know, I saw the videos online and stuff. But to actually be sitting here talking to you, man, you're spot on the man. You're spot on the Prince of Darkness himself. Ozzy himself would be fooled.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Well, Sharon did give us permission to be on a show out there. We were in L.A. once, Universal Studios, a Jimmy Fallon production.
Right
where
on.
They took the best tribute bands and had have them go against each other. It was about 3 years ago.
Okay, that is amazing.
So she knows we're here.
Okay, cool. That's good to know. Because if she didn't, you know how she is.
Yeah, you know Sharon.
Oh, yeah. We love her for it. That's why we have the man that we have. And it's great to be talking to you, man, especially right here on the heels of the Back to the Beginning show, which was just such an awesome thing to see, to witness. People are still buzzing about it today. And to have you doing what you're doing, keeping, you know, as we kind of say goodbye to Ozzy in the most wonderful way, giving him his flowers while he's still here is the best way to do it, right? It's great that yourself and your band and folks like you are going to continue to celebrate his music and bring it to us. Many of us who didn't get to experience, you know, Ozzy as solo, or especially Black Sabbath. It's great that you're here to still provide that experience for us. Boyd, what was it like when you first started this, though? When did you realize you could take on such an endeavor as, quite frankly, becoming Ozzy Osbourne?
Well, I didn't know it. I didn't see it coming. But I had just gotten into music. I was with a cover band, and we finished the night. We were at some bar in mid-Michigan, and we finished the night with Crazy Train. And I got done. I went to the bathroom, and I came out, and this guy that looks like Zakk Wylde, looked just like him, comes up to me and says, "Hey, you sound just like Ozzy. You ever think about putting a tribute band together?" Because it was just when tribute bands were starting to get big, you know. And I said, I would love that, because I've always loved high energy music. You know, I moved out of the house in '83, you know, and just went nuts with the music. It was all high energy of that time, you know, the hair band stuff.
Yeah.
And Ozzy had just started his solo career pretty much. And songs like Flying High Again give me goosebumps. I could listen to it 20 times in a row and still get goosebumps, you know?
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah, I'm all in, man. If I can string together 20 songs, you know, 30 songs like that and do it, heck yeah. So yeah, that's how it got started.
That's awesome, man. And wow, you know, and what a great time back in the early '80s when he first went solo and stuff. And then, you know, you just jumping on from then. And we know these songs by heart, dude. So it's not like, you know, there's gonna be no fooling. You know what I mean? It's like you're either got it or you don't. You're either with it or you're not. And to see you authentically, you know, bringing it so real is such a great deal. But that's just you, man. How were you able to get other guys as involved, as dedicated, as excited about bringing this in a true tribute form the way that you're doing it? It's not just a cover band you guys are doing. You guys are representing the real thing here. How were you able to get the right guys picked for what you're doing?
Well, it wasn't me. I'm not much of a planner, and I never had a music background. I just happened to. God gave me the ability to sing like Ozzy Osbourne, you know.
Amen.
So
Amen.
It was when we picked up the bass player, Blasto. His name is Robert Blasto Joannis. When that happened, that's when we went kind of professional, because everybody from coast to coast knows him. He's one of the best bass players in the United States, but he kind of took over the music. I said, I'm going to do my thing. You'll see the back of my head singing in the microphone, and I'll be as spot on as I can be, but you take care of the music end of it. So then we went through a couple drummers, you know, with his direction, and ended up with a guy named Charlie Smaldino, and then Charlie went through some family things, and we had to replace him. We ended up with the drummer we have now, Cody McCoy, and Cody's traveled all over the world doing studio drumming for people. In fact, he was at the Back to Beginning show because he knew one of the bands that was in the show, you know.
Oh, wow.
So he was pretty connected. He was there sending us backstage stuff. And Rob also got us a guitar player. He actually lives in Georgia, so we have to fly him in every time we play. But he looks just like a young Zakk Wylde and plays like him. It's a lot of fun. The guys are great in the green room too, not only on the stage, but it's fun. Like I always say, capital F-U-N. If it wasn't fun, I'd quit doing it. But it's fun.
When did you first start doing the actual Ozzy tribute Reborn in its form now?
About 10 years ago. I mean, and it's changed. Everybody's changed out but me.
Sure. Right.
But it started 10 years ago.
You've been the glue holding the whole thing together, and of course, it couldn't happen without you, man. And I think I watched the videos. I haven't had the pleasure of seeing you live just yet, but I hope that's going to happen someday soon. You got to come visit us in Northern California in San Jose, man.
I would love to come out there and play again.
That would be awesome. So you've got the solo Ozzy Osbourne tunes. You've got the Black Sabbath classic tunes. Are there favorites in the repertoire that you love playing that just get you jacked every time you get to them?
Yeah, as far as Ozzy's solo career and the album, No More Tears. But when I do No More Tears, I mean, nobody else in the world would have written or performed a song like that besides Ozzy Osbourne and Zakk Wylde. You know, that song is so crazy if you look at how it's put together. But it's my favorite song to perform. So I get jacked for that one. I leave the stage during the middle because it's so long, and that's like my break time, you know, where I go drink some more or whatever. But as far as Black Sabbath, now I came out in the 80s, you know, well, Black Sabbath was kind of before my time, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But the guys in the band, it's in their blood. All the guys in the band love Black Sabbath more than they like the Ozzy solo. So people kept saying, "Do you do Freddy's Rare Boots? Do you do?" And I didn't know what the song was at first when I first started 10 years ago.
Uh-huh.
But then after we started doing it, that one became my favorite Black Sabbath song because the music in that, if you listen to just the music, the musicians in that, is one of the most beautiful songs I've ever heard in my life.
Wow.
So that's my favorite Black Sabbath.
I know you get many different types of reactions when folks are approaching, you know, an endeavor like this, when you want to take on Ozzy Osbourne and Black Sabbath, their music, but not just the music, but also the legacy and the likeness. Folks may be a bit skeptical at first, you know, but then once you realize, Boyd, what's that moment like when you realize you got them, when you realize you've convinced them that, you know, you are the real deal when it comes to representing Ozzy Osbourne? What's that moment like?
It's funny that you asked that because naturally, I don't know why this is. I just do it automatically. I have since the beginning. I'll look for people in the audience, and you can see they usually have the old concert T-shirt on where they've been to 10 shows, Ozzy shows or 20 shows, and Ozzy's the most important musician in their life. And they come, and the look on their face is, you know, I'm going to see if you really nail this, you know what I mean? So you'll go through 3 or 4 songs, and they're just standing there, like in that pose, you know, like a statue. And I just naturally will work on them. It's like everybody around them is going nuts. And then they'll see me looking at them. I'll point at them at different parts of the show, you know, and then pretty soon they'll start tapping a leg, you know, and then the head will start going. By the end of the show, they're the ones going the most crazy and want to see me at the booth, you know, because once you convince the you know, the best
hardcore
fans, man, they're in for life.
Yeah. Yeah,
so I get to get in on that. You know, what Ozzy built, I get to get on that a little bit, you know.
And then the thing is, I think that folks, especially those guys in particular, and I know those kind of guys you're talking about because, I don't know, I may have or may have not been that type of dude in the audience before, you know, just like, oh, yeah.
Yeah, right.
But once you
I've been there myself, yeah.
Yeah, you know, we all feel that way, but I think it's something that we all kind of, you know, fantasize as when we're you know, kids in high school, junior high school, whatever. Air guitaring in our mirror in our bedroom, you know, pretending we're Ozzy or whoever our favorite rocker is, you know. So we all kind of go through that. We all go through the motions of kind of reenacting it, and then we see, you know, you out there doing your thing. It's so authentically well. It's so great, Boyd. I'm glad you're doing it. And again, man, you know, your timing, especially right now, could not be even better, man, because, you know, people are the whole FOMO thing, the whole fear of missing out. People are going to be grabbing at you now, man, because they want to, you know, they don't want to miss out. You know, Ozzy is taking his final bow, and you're going to keep it going.
Yeah, I don't wish anything bad on Ozzy, you know what I mean? But yeah, maybe this is an opportunity for us, you know, and that would be great if it is. But like I said, the main thing for me is just the fun, you know, and the connection with the audience. You know, that's the main thing. And that's what Ozzy loved about it also, is just the connection. We have so many people that love us and know us and want to hang out with us and do things because I do the Ozzy thing, you know what I mean? Where they wouldn't know me any other way, you know? So it's really enriched my life. And watching this, you know, the way they love Ozzy and the way all the bands talk about, you know, these are big bands like Metallica and stuff, and the way they talk about Ozzy and Black Sabbath and stuff, you know, we get to get in on that a little bit. I mean, that's great. It couldn't be any better. You know?
What a celebration of metal, right? I mean, like, you know, how close-knit the metal family is to be able to, you know, Boyd, too many times, man, we wait till someone's not here for us to be able to show them the love that they deserve, for us to be able to tell them, you know, what they've meant to us all of our lives, especially in the case of Ozzy, who's been a part of our life literally all of our lives. He's been here before you and I were born, practically.
Right.
And
Yep.
to be able to see him, and, he's an old legend now. He's up there just taking it all in, as he should. It's like it's cool for him to go ahead and hang it up now, man. But it's also cool that he's still here to witness the love being showered his way from the fans, and then of course from all the legendary bands that surrounded him, at the event, and then of course folks like yourself, that are going to continue on not just the music, but also the likeness, the legacy, giving people an experience, of what it was like to see Ozzy, especially in his prime. And dude, you've got it down. You've got it. I mean, like, I'm checking I'm making sure the claps are right. I'm making sure.
Well, thank you, man.
You got it
I
right.
Appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you very much. We appreciate that.
Yeah, definitely.
But watching this whole thing, we got together as a band, and there's a house we call Band Camp on the lake, and we go there once a year. Well, we went there early this year, and we streamed it live. The last show, back to the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
So we all got together as a band and watched it. I'm so glad that we did, because it was a really great production with all the bands there. I didn't know they were going to have all those bands, and even Sammy Hagar doing Flying High Again and Rock Candy. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
And it just went on and on and on all day. It was 8 to 10 hours.
Yeah.
And then Ozzy, and I was worried about how Ozzy was going to sound sitting down, and I was really blown away when he started singing. I'm like, man, he sounds great. He sounds better than the bands before him.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah.
And then to finish off with Black Sabbath, and what my favorite thing of the day was? Bill Ward taking his T-shirt off.
Wow.
Playing the drums shirtless like he used to, He
Doing
didn't
it.
care. Because
it.
he knows it's about the fun.
Because I tell you what, I'm not taking my shirt off, man.
No, me neither.
I got work to do.
I'm not getting the tattoos until I make $1 million.
Right, exactly.
And I'll take my shirt off.
Yeah, exactly. I got work to do, bro. So pardon me.
Right on.
Right
but
on,
it did
man.
revive. Watching this thing revived me, because after 10 years, things start to, you're doing kind of the same things. You change the set list and everything else. You can't change the wardrobe too much because you got to wear what Ozzy wore.
That's right.
You got to do the stage that Ozzy does,
That's right.
So it just starts to slide after a while. But watching this really revived me, man. I'm ready to go out and get them now.
That's so awesome, man. That's so awesome. And continued blessings and success for all that you're doing, for yourself, Boyd, also, for the band and for us, the fans who, who still get to experience it, man. I really love that that's happening, in our world right now, where there are these tribute bands out there that are taking it super duper serious. And you are definitely at the top of that list of all the tribute bands I've seen. I've seen quite a few, actually, somehow in the last several years, where people are really just digging in and just trying to, make it real, make it honest. The biggest takeaway is the word respect, If you're going to do this thing, you got to bring it 100%. Not one thing can be out of place.
The look and the sound. The look and the sound, yes.
It's also
you're going to do a tribute. Yeah,
it's also important. Because you know what? Boyd, I've seen a couple of tribute bands. They sounded amazing. They were spot on. I'm not going to name them. In the sound, if you close your eyes, it's good. But when you open your eyes, you're like, oh man, no.
It goes together. The sights and the sounds go together.
I mean, if you're gonna do it, you got to go all the way. So, and I really appreciate what you're doing. Well, until you get to the Bay Area, Boyd, folks can find you OzzyReborn.com.
Yep.
Also on the Facebook. Facebook.com/Ozzy Rebourne. Is that .cbo? Just they can find you on Facebook at Ozzy Rebourne, right?
Yes.
Cool.
Yes.
Are you on the Instagrams and the X's?
I think we are, but I'm not in charge of that, and I don't ever look at it. So, but yeah, I think we are. I think we have Instagram connected to the Facebook or something.
Boyd, don't make us all sound old, okay?
Oh, I know what Fireball bottles look like.
Right. Okay. There you go. My man.
Well, thank you.
You got it, man.
Thank you very much. And thank you to 98.5 K-Fox, and you, Morris Knight. I appreciate you.
You got it,
Thank you very much. What an honor to do an interview with you.
All right, man.
And thank you to Brian who set this up.
My pleasure,
Thank you to Brian.
man.
He was just in Michigan, had some car trouble, and so I spent a lot of time with him.
Okay, right on.
It was unfortunate, but
right.
That's how it worked out.
All right, then. Well, Boyd, Ozzy, Quinton, thank you very much for gracing us with your presence, my man. And you keep on doing what you're doing. As soon as you make it out to Northern California, San Jose, the Bay Area, man, you make sure that we're first on your list because we're going to hit you up. We want to check you out, okay?
Oh, yeah, I want to meet you in person, man. Great interview, and thank you.
You got it, my friend. You have a great day, and thanks for hanging out with us, man.
Thank you very much.
All right, peace out.